What's going on today, YouTubers? Welcome to another edition of Walking Reviews. Today I am in the jungles of southeastern Pennsylvania, and we're going to be taking a look at another custom knife. It's been a little while since I made a video. The reason being that it was really kind of miserable out, and every video I tried to make would end up with bugs in my eyes and sweat dripping down onto the phone. But the humidity has finally broken. The weather is gorgeous. It's like low 80s, high 70s. Not much in the way of humidity anymore. So anyways, enough about the weather. Let's talk about this little boy. This is a piece by Clyde Challenor. I don't know if it's his most popular, probably one of the most popular. This is the Talon. There is another one that looks just like this, but a little bit bigger, called the Raptor. He's got a ton of different models. Clyde Challenor has, much like Andre Thorburn, he has a boatload of models in different sizes, different opening methods. I think he gained popularity through the use of his front flippers, but his traditional flipper is fantastic as well. So let's go ahead and jump in. M390 blade steel in a modified sheep's foot style, I guess. Come on, focus. Yeah, there you go. Beautiful satin finish. Nice top swedge. Great tip for piercing and detail. A lot of, not a ton of like belly, but it's not a straight, like you can see, it's not that straightforward Warncliffe style. It does have a very light curve to it, almost like the reverse Tonto blade of the 940, which you know, is incredibly popular because of the blade shape being so useful. And this kind of has that same functional design. It also looks pretty good, I think. You can almost see where he got the name, like that Raptor name, even though this is the Talon. It has like the look of a predatory bird, maybe, with this being like the eye. I don't know. Maybe I'm just seeing things because I want to. Comes with a really nice edge. Not the sharpest, but extremely usable edge. You know, it's still going to shave hair off your arm, but it's not like it's not the sharpest edge I've gotten, but it's very good nonetheless. I do like the finish on the blade. It's not like a super fine satin finish, so it's not going to scratch up or anything like that. You can see here it's got the thumb hole opener. It also has a beautiful run of jimping on this thumb ramp here. I'll get into that a little bit later though. So 3 1/4 inches on the blade, 4 1/4 inches on the handle here, which is a heavily kind of stonewashed titanium. You can see it almost looks like orange peel because of the way he does that stonewash. One thing you'll notice is the hardware is different than most custom knives you see. I'm a big fan of this hardware. It gives you a custom look while being the simplest hardware to service, just because all it takes is a flathead screwdriver and boom, you're in business. Everybody has flathead screwdrivers lying around. Torx, you know, that's something you probably have to go to the store to buy. As far as a flathead screwdriver, I think everybody in the world probably has at least one flathead screwdriver. So you can see on the handle here, we've got a nice carbon fiber inlay, and it's done perfectly. It's not meant to sit flush with the handle, it's meant to sit just below the handle. I really like the way he's done this. It adds a little bit of grip to the knife. Not that it needs it, but it's still there. You can feel the difference, like in your fingertips when you grip the knife and your fingers are just sitting on that carbon fiber. As you can see, it's got a hidden or internal blade stop, one standoff. The pocket clip is hidden hardware. You can see, yep, right there. I don't know if it's going to show up on the video, but you can kind of see that screw inside, which I mean, you can't see it from here. It's sunk into the titanium, but I love this pocket clip. It flows beautifully with the lines of the knife while still being absolutely perfectly functional. Yeah, this is one of my favorite pocket clips. I really love Richard Rogers and the way he does his pocket clips, and I love this pocket clip as well. So the blade, obviously completely sterile. There's no writing of any kind. I don't even think Clyde would need a logo because his hardware is so easily identifiable. He's the only guy using this hardware. Just when I was talking about no bugs, I get a bug crawling down my back. Sorry about that. So yeah, you can see the carbon fiber inlay here is just on the show side. Lock side does not have any inlay, but just take a look here at the way he did these edges. They're all rounded. I love the way he did these edges. This is my second Raptor, or Talon, sorry. Oh, let me point out here the lock bar insert here. Show you the lockup there. The lockup is so secure, it's like over 50%, but you get no blade stick. Pretty nice and tight on the tolerances. Flipping action, not the fastest flipping action in the world, but very reliable. It'll go with the thumb, it'll go with the, any finger you choose to do that with. The thumb hole opener, or hole opener, I shouldn't call it thumb hole opener, as I'm using my index and middle fingers to open it. But you can totally use your thumb if you want. You can even roll it open. Here, I'll show you the pop of the detent though. As I open this, you'll see it just kind of pops out. Because he did use a pretty firm detent, probably faulting on the side of firm enough to make sure that it was a good flipper first, and then dialing it in from there to make sure that you can use your index and middle fingers and thumb to open it. But it strikes a very good balance. I'd say faulting on the side of being a better flipper. It can be, before you get used to it, it can be slightly difficult to get the hole opener really dialed in. It can be tough at first. You got to kind of keep your fingers off the lock bar, that type of thing. So let me go back to the thumb ramp and stuff. The reason I was mentioning what a beautiful run of jimping it is, and you're going to see this now, ergonomically this knife is one of the most perfect knives I've ever held. You get this very deep initial groove here for your index finger, and then the rest of your hand rests in this second groove, and your thumb, then the place that it naturally wants to rest is right here along this thumb ramp, which puts this knife in prime position to be used for whatever task you're setting it to. It's just incredibly comfortable to hold. I can't, off the top of my head, I can't really think of another knife this comfortable. This isn't the best, like I said, it's not like the flashiest flipper. It doesn't have like that fall closed action. Jesus Christ. It does take a good shake to close it. But it's still gone in my pocket more than not recently. And the reason for that is because the versatility of opening methods. I don't get tired as easily of playing with a knife when I can change how I'm doing it. But B, when I had this knife ordered from Clyde, and I'll talk about that process in a second, I wanted it to be like as plain as possible so I could just use it. Like I said, I had owned another one of these models before, and it was like a really intricate one. It had like that dragon skin blade with the wild colors and the it's like really crazy looking. I think they use like ball bearings pressed and then colored. Anyways, it was really a little too nice to be for me to go, oh, let me throw it in my pocket and beat the shit out of it. Whereas this one, I specifically was like, all right, if I'm going to get another one, because like I said, I wasn't like blown away by the flipping action. This one I think actually is better than the first one I had, and it's also had time to break in, which is a huge part of it. But I really did love the design of that first one, and aside from the fact that it just looked too damn pretty to really beat the shit out of, plus that dragon skin blade, while it looks nice, isn't going to hold up as well as M390. Yeah, my entire reason for even getting another Challenor, and this model in particular, was because I did love how the design of it was so utilitarian. So that's why I decided to get one made with simple materials that I wouldn't be afraid to abuse a little bit, So this one, I just said, give me a plain one, and he kind of did this carbon fiber inlay on his own, which I'm totally fine with. It adds a little bit of character to what would be an otherwise drab knife. And when you're talking about a custom knife, it should have some kind of pop to it. Otherwise, why are you buying a custom knife, period? Granted, yeah, the functionality is probably going to be better than any production knife you're going to get. But the margins are too close to justify the added cost of a custom knife if you're not at least getting some, uniqueness to the knife, I guess. Where the hell was I going with this? Jesus, God, I gotta stop rambling. Okay, so the process of getting this from Clyde. He contacted me, I want to say a month and a half ago, and said, hey, you were on my books for X knife. Do you want me to go ahead and get that started for you? I don't remember signing up for his books. I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember signing up to be on his books. I had one of his knives, one of his front flippers, like one of the original ones, a long time ago. So maybe I contacted him at that point to get a different one. I don't know. But anyways, from the time that Clyde contacted me about making a new knife, I emailed him back and I was like, yeah, I would actually, I would prefer one of your flippers, the mid-size one or whatever. He emailed me immediately back, hey, I'll do it this way, this, gave me the specs of the knife. And I was like, all right, sure, sounds good. He had it done like maybe a week and a half later. It was already done. So he works so fast. And it's helped a lot by the fact that he has templates, but every maker has templates. They make a certain model or whatever. But it's not like he makes them in batches. He just has the template and then makes that knife for whatever, whether it be for like a show or for a customer. And then he had it shipped to me. He's another South African maker. He had it shipped to me, and it was at my door maybe like 2 weeks after ordering. I'll go into price now because we're approaching the 15-minute mark and I've rambled too long. This base model was $750. I think that's the same price for just about any one of his knives. As far as value, it's on the high end, but I definitely think it's there. So now I'm past the 15-minute mark, so it doesn't matter. I can keep talking forever. But yeah, the 750 is on the higher end. I would love to see a knife like this closer to 650, 600, but this one was custom made for me, and 750 seems to be about the average price of a direct from maker custom, who's somebody who's established. That mini Sligo I showed you guys was close to that price, and that was direct from maker. And Collins Customs, while making a fantastic knife, isn't nearly as established as Clyde Challenor. He's been around for a long time, won multiple awards, so he's earned, I guess, the right to be up there with the big boys as far as pricing goes. The secondary market, luckily, if you don't want to wait to order directly from him, the secondary market on his stuff isn't nearly as bad as it is on many other. You'll probably get it for exactly what I paid for it, maybe even less. Which is, maybe it's just due to the fact that he makes so many knives, I don't know. But the secondary market isn't nearly as brutal when it comes to his stuff, or any South African maker really for that matter, as it is for a lot of the guys, like, you know, who sometimes you'll see triple, quadruple, you know, even as much as 10 times the price that they charge the initial customer being charged on the secondary market. You're not going to find that with Clyde stuff. You'll usually find them around that $700 to $750 mark. So, in my humble opinion, yeah, I think it has that value. It holds that value for sure. A lot of work went into this knife, and it's pretty much perfect. I can't, you know, like I said, I wasn't like blown away by the flipping action, but it's damn good. I mean, it's still damn good, and everything else is like perfect. It's going to be one of the most comfortable, if not the most comfortable knife you've ever held, and it's just so damn useful. That blade shape I love, the thumb ramp, the ergonomics, very comfortable. Like I said, I have knives that are flashier and better flipping that haven't been finding their way into my pocket as much lately because of this knife. So yeah. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video on the Clyde Challenor Talon. I should be back to making videos a little bit more often now that the disgusting humidity is finally broken. So stay tuned. Take it easy.